it's your girl Leomie Anderson here, and I am back with yet another LAPP X FLANNELS International Women's Day interview, and I had to bring my girl Neelam, supermodel sweetness with just a little hint of mystery, down to my kitchen. Yes, because this is my kitchen, to basically sit down and just have a little discussion, because I wanted to have girls who really inspired me, girls who are not afraid to tell the truth and be real, and this is the realest that it gets. Right, I know, gosh.
What an intro.
I know, gosh, I'm like a hype man.
You are.
But tell me, how have you been during this crazy time? Because, you know, everyone's had their ups and downs and it's just been mad, but I want to know how it's been for you.
Honestly, it's been difficult because, as you know, I live by myself, so I've been on my own like the whole lockdown. Wow. Most of my friends who moved to London, they all moved back home, like to the Midlands where I'm from, during the lockdown.
Big up Coventry.
Yeah. But I don't know, I think even though this time has been difficult, it's been really important for me, because I feel like, as I've said to you, I've done so much reflection and so much work on myself, even though it sounds cheesy, but you can't help but do it, because I think with our jobs, it's so fast paced and we travel so much and we're always on the go. And this is probably the longest we've been in one place for like since we were kids, right?
Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
mad.
so for me, it's been actually really an important time of just like realization, figuring out what I want as a woman, figuring out where to go next, figuring out who I want in my life, who I don't want, you know? So I think it's been a really telling time. And I think even though it's been difficult, I feel blessed because I know some people have had it much worse. So I just feel grateful for, you know, health and the simple things that we probably used to take for granted before.
So true. I feel like for me during this lockdown, I've done exactly the same thing of reflecting and just realizing what really is important and who really is important as well in your life. And even though you spent a lot of time by yourself, I'm sure that you've really worked out who you want to have around, which I think is super important. So people, just take note of that as well, that use this crazy time to really reflect on your circle that you have around you. So, as you said, you've been really reflecting on yourself. What do you think is one of the things that you've learned about yourself during this time?
One of the things I've learned about myself in this time is probably to be a bit kinder to myself, because I think, again, within our industry, we're faced with so much like criticism on a daily basis, and I think it's difficult not to internalize that. And then you couple that with like social media and just pressures in general of being like a young woman in today's society, especially of color, and being in this industry, it can all get a lot and quite consuming. So I think in this time I've tried to give myself a bit more credit and like treat myself, you know, that saying, like, you can give such good advice, but you can't take it. I feel like, So in this time, I've just been trying to be a bit kinder to myself, and
no, I completely agree with you, because as you said, in our industry, we face so much criticism that it is hard to stay in the right frame of mind and understand that actually sometimes people's words are things that you just need to let flow over you. So I kind of want to talk a little bit more about our experience in the modeling industry. So what did you think the modeling industry was going to be like before you entered versus what it actually was like?
I definitely thought it would be like quite catty. I mean, I think because I'm not obviously from London, so maybe I feel like when people are from here, you're born with more of like I don't know, you have more of like a hustle, more of like an armor. You have,
street with
it. But you have like a city like energy about you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas when I moved here, like everything scared me. Everything was so fast paced, and like I couldn't keep up with how quick everything moved. So I definitely thought it would be catty, but I also thought there was a side of it that I did probably see really naively as just being like so simple. Like I thought you can just kind of get what you want. Like I didn't know the realities behind getting a modeling job. Like I thought it would just be like every day like Gucci calling you like, hey, we want you in a campaign. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't truly understand like the struggles it takes to reach a certain level. And even when you've reached that level, you still face so much criticisms, or
even to maintain once you get to a certain level, it's so hard, because in a way models are just a commodity to people. They don't see us as real people in the industry. And I feel like one thing that I want people to take away from this particular interview, because we have so many young girls who say they want to be models, but it is not what people think at all.
Modeling is so much more than just doing the job. Like I always say, it's the biggest school of life you could have, because it teaches you how to be so mature, so professional at such a young age. And also you can get really, really big really, really quick, but then you have to figure out, what do I want from this? Do I want to be doing like runway modeling my whole life? Do I want to transition into another lane? Do I want to open my own brand like you've done with LAPP? Do I want to, I don't know, there's so many avenues that people can go down, like presenting or whatever it may be. So I think, there's a lot of important questions that you have to figure out at a young age, at an age where most people are just coming out of uni or you know, moving back home or whatever it may be, and you're expected to kind of have everything together, which some could take as a pressure. Yeah,
which I still take it as a pressure. Even for me personally, navigating the modeling industry, I realized very quickly that it was something that I didn't want to just be known as, because I feel like, not that it's almost a trap, but if you get into the cycle where you let the industry kind of consume you and become your whole life, it can be really hard if they turn around one day and say, your look's not in anymore.
And spit you out. It will chew you up and
that
spit you out.
happens every day. That happens every single day. You can work with a brand for 2 or 3 seasons and then you might not hear from them ever again. But when you're young, you think that these people are like your family in a way, or you know, when you see like 90s models who would work with a brand again and again and again and again, that time is kind of gone now. So it's all about figuring out how to use the modeling industry and not let it use you.
And create your own lane, which I think is so important, because I think it's really important to create your own little space within the industry. Everyone has to have something that's unique to them, whether it's being passionate about LAPP with you, or there's certain models that are passionate about, I don't know, wildlife or charities that they have going on. I think it's important to find something that you're passionate about, because if not too, even though the industry is great, it can be really empty.
Very much so.
Even in this lockdown, when I've been speaking to you and you've been so busy with LAPP, I feel like that's been such a passion and a purpose for you.
Yeah.
I mean, not to get into the LAPP.
See, she even knows what the PP and the LAPP stands for. It stands for the project, the purpose, the brand. So yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but I think that has given you that motivation in this time, that you have so much to focus on and you have so much that you want to build. Whereas if you were more confined in a box, it would probably take more of an impact on your like mental health and well-being in this time, because you place all your energy and all your importance, all your validation into this one thing that's actually quite fleeting. And like you said, someone can wake up one day and just realize, you're not for us anymore.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to let that affect your self-esteem. It's very hard. And I think that's what young people don't realize with social media, because they see it as so easily attainable and glamorous. And don't get me wrong, an aspect of it is easily attainable, but like you said, it's maintaining it.
And talking about social media, I want to talk about your relationship with social media and how it has changed as well as you've gotten older and just gotten to know yourself a lot more. Because I know when I very first started seeing Instagram, well, in fact, here's the joke actually about being a model and like Instagram being introduced, was that when it very first started out, as it was for everybody, it was just something you were doing for fun. But I feel like within the modeling and creative industries, we were one of the first industries to see it as something that you can monetize. And our agents all of a sudden started putting pressure on us to gain followers, to gain traction and engagement. And it was just like, like, why do I need to do this? I didn't really get it. But then I feel like it became kind of not negative as such in every aspect, but for some girls it became really negative and toxic. And I kind of want to just explore your personal relationship with social media, because I know you have times when you just go off of it, you have times when you're with it, like just I just want to talk about that.
I think definitely during lockdown I've not been as active. I mean, I know some people have been like rolling out content every day, and I think that's great, but for me, I just feel when I have something to post, I'll post, but if I don't, I try and stay off it, because I do find it quite consuming. And I think there's a positive and a negative with it. The positive is like I've met so many amazing people off it, or like I've connected with some people that I've never even met, that I would have never got the chance to kind of like cross paths with, that you meet on Instagram. And it's really good at like maintaining relationships or just like inspiration, or I think in that sense it's good. But I think there is also a negative side to it, and it is like severely affecting people's mental health in this time, which worries me, because I think especially during lockdown, people's screen time is like heightened so much because you have nothing else to do in this time, you know? And I think it's really hard not to be sitting at home and comparing yourself to these people that are posting like picture perfect images every day, or like you've
on
just
holiday.
or you've just rolled out of bed and like someone's already told you the list of 35 things they've done, and it instantly makes you feel unproductive, because I think the app thrives off comparison, whether it's intentionally or not. It can't help but make you feel that way. So I think it's important for young people to like identify when it is serving them and when it's not, and take a step away from it. And that's what I always tell my sisters. I mean, one of my sisters, she's in uni now, Jasmine, and she's completely come off socials, and
really,
she feels so much better for it, because it was getting her so down, and she feels way better for it. But I am in two minds too, because I know that there's so much good that comes from it. I think you have to be mindful with also like who you follow. Like, I only follow people who I really want to keep up with, or they like inspire me, or, you know, I think you should make your world in there really like purposeful and really
positive,
inspiring, whatever that may be for you, whether you want to follow people because they're just like Insta baddies and you like their makeup, or whether you want to follow them or whether you want to follow them because you like their style, or whether you want to follow more like quotes pages, or, you know, there's so many different things that you can be on there for. But I think you should tailor it to yourself.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that one of the themes that I've seen throughout all the women that I've spoken to as part of this series is surrounding yourself with things that make you feel good and positive. And that's a message that I really, really want to reinforce for the audience out there, that who you surround yourself with, what you consume every day, it really does have a massive effect on you. And if it's not inspiring you, making you feel good, making you feel positive, or just giving you some sort of positive vibration, you need to cut it out of your life.
I agree. I think that's just a life lesson. Like, with me, I don't know, I'm sounding like really old and wise saying this. I'm not, I swear. But I think that's just with life. I think you should only have people around you who like serve or add something to your life. That's not to say that everything in your life has to be transactional and you do this for me, I do this for you. But I think in lockdown especially, so many people have had realizations about maybe people who they thought were really there for them and weren't. And, you know, like relationships have broken down and stuff. And I think it's because it's been such a telling time. People have no other distractions. And you're probably noticing things that you knew in the past, but you were just too distracted and like consumed with your everyday life. Whereas in this time, I think it's made those things, it's shown a lot of true colors and made it glaringly obvious, like what
Very
matters
true.
in life. And I think that's why even in this time, I mean, I have friends that have made like whole career changes because they're like, they've had like corporate jobs and they're like, I don't want to live like this, or this doesn't serve me, it doesn't make me happy, and I don't want to do this. And they've moved cities, and I think it's been a real like awakening for a lot of people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. This time has definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things. Yeah. How do you invest in yourself? And what is your self-care routine? Because I feel that that's something that I often personally forget. So what do you do for you?
Obviously now it's a lockdown, so it's a bit more difficult. But before it was a lockdown, I would love to do solo days by myself. Like I love I love doing like a spa day. You know, some people find it depressing to do things alone, but I think because of our job, we're so used to it. We're so used to it that like for me, it's a real luxury. Like I love going to a spa day and getting a massage and a scrub and just like being in the sauna. Or if I can't,
getting rid of all your crusty skin.
Yeah, literally. Or if I can't do something on that level, I just like having a little day to myself, like walking around, going to a bookshop, maybe getting my nails done, like kind of having a day that I don't have like time restraints, that I can just spend it doing the things that I enjoy. But I like doing little things to myself. But within this time, the things that I've been doing that are my own self-care routine is just like a lot of at-home things. Like I've been doing hair masks.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing face masks.
Paying off, guys. Look how thick and silky this is.
No, my hair needs a trim. It needs a trim badly. That's why I had it tied up for this. But I've just been trying to do things at home, and also I've been like reading more. Like I said, spending less time on my phone, as in I'm still on there, but for example now, instead of like scrolling on my phone constantly, I'd rather talk on the phone to a friend or like listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube video. I've made more of an effort to start reading again because I just feel like it's such a form of escapism for me.
Yeah.
I love reading.
What
I love
are you reading at the moment?
I'm actually reading this book. Well, I reread a book the other day. It's actually Tupac's bodyguard wrote it, called Frank Alexander, who's passed away now. But
She loves Tupac. For anybody
Yeah.
who doesn't know Neelam, that's her
I love
guy.
him.
That's her
I love
man.
him. But I reread that because I was just like, you know when you haven't read a book in ages?
Yeah.
So I reread that, and now I'm reading a book called The Mastery of Love. And yeah, it's really interesting. I like to mix it up. Like sometimes I'll read like self-help books, then I move on to fiction, then I move on. Yeah, I like different genres. But yeah, I think in this time I've just been trying to do things that make me feel good, like even cooking in this time, because I think before lockdown,
The cooking, you need to teach me some stuff.
no, I mean, I'm not like honestly, I need to learn more dishes because I think the main food that I cook is like Indian, which is nice, don't get me
I'm
wrong,
like-
but it is
yeah,
nice.
but you're used to it. That's
But
why.
yeah, I think I need to learn like more of like other cuisines, you know? But I think cooking for me is like a luxury and it's therapeutic because when we're so busy, the last thing I'm going to do is get home from an event and be like, you know,
let me put my apron on.
no, like doing a whole mix of tarka, which is like the onions and the garlic, and like literally that smell will like linger in my whole flat for like 1 week. Whereas in lockdown, I'm like, I can do whatever I want. I'm not going
If
anywhere.
I smell like
Yeah,
onions.
literally. So I've been cooking a lot too, which is nice. It's nice to even eat like good food, you know?
Yeah, see, I need to get on that. So
No, you have been cooking because sometimes
Yeah.
I'll message her and she'll be like, I'm just cooking dinner. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but it just happens that you message me on the days that I'm cooking because really it's very few and far in between. Can't lie. But yeah, I definitely understand how cooking can be therapeutic, but I definitely think when you can cook really, really well, that just adds, you know, not just these
But I
struggle
also
meals
think-
that I'll be preparing sometimes.
Yeah, but I also think in this time, like, my days have been like planning, like, what am I going to eat today? Like, you know, when you're at home all day, you're like, this
Make
is
it
a
a
whole
schedule.
thing. Yeah, like literally before I fall asleep, the night before, I'm lying in bed like, oh, what shall I eat for breakfast tomorrow? Like, literally, it's in my head.
I need to try that.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I clearly need to get a life, but that's what makes me excited. I'm like, what am I going to eat tomorrow? Then it's the weekend, and I'm like, I'm going to do a fry up.
Oh, wait. Is that lap that you're wearing?
Of course.
So just give the people an honest review. Let them know like how you really feel about it. You can't just take my word for it and all.
I know, I don't want to sound biased because I'm a very honest person, but one thing I love about LAPP, and I can say that I've like witnessed through the journey, is I love the quality. Like I really, really love the quality because I think especially with a lot of like sportswear and stuff, I don't really like leggings that are thin material.
Yeah,
And I
I
think these
hate
really
leggings.
like hold you in and hug you. And I love like all the rib details too because I just think it's flattering.
See, guys. I mean, you've heard it from me how many times, but I just mean the
And I
reviews
think,
speak for themselves.
yeah, and I think too is obviously I have so much of your stuff and it lasts in the wash. Like I know it sounds really simple, but that's another big thing for me is like, do you ever buy something and it's so nice and then after a few washes you're just like, this doesn't look the same.
Yeah, the worst. And that's the thing I really wanted to work on with LAPP is that I want people to feel that they can wash it, wear it hundreds of times. And at the end of the day, it's sportswear. I want people to buy LAPP, even if it's at the beginning of their fitness journey, whether it's for fashion, whatever the purpose is for, I want them to feel like it's an outfit that they can keep wearing and always feel good in. I don't want it to be something like, oh, after a few wears or whatever, it's a bit bobbly and it's not like the same.
Not bubbly.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? You know when you get like tracksuit bottoms and you wear it a couple of times and then it's
Yeah.
like, it's not
I
really
literally
fresh.
had to order something off Amazon the other day, you know, like
The
lint.
debobbler
Yeah, yeah.
Don't need that for LAPP.
Yeah.
So, what are one of your main goals for 2021 for your personal journey?
Oh, this is such a good question.
I know, juicy. Like, for example...
Okay, yeah, tell me yours so I
yeah,
can give you
okay.
a bit of a...
Okay, so for example, my personal goal for 2021 is to be able to read more books and to be able to kind of carve out more time for myself and create a more productive schedule and routine, because I do so much, but I feel like I could be so much more productive if I woke up earlier, if I you know, even though I eat well, but I need to be consistently eating well.
Yeah.
And I want to be one of those people who like wakes up really early and just like loves it. I'm not a morning person, but I want to become a morning person this year. But we'll just take it like 10 minutes at a time, 10 minutes earlier every week or so, and we'll just go from there, you know. I'm not trying to do anything too crazy out here. Jordan said I should be waking up at 5 a.m. I'm like,
Jordan's routines are crazy. Like, even her skincare, she's got it down.
Yeah, I know,
like,
but
she's got
it
it
pays
down.
off.
Yeah, it is really inspiring. I think my routine has improved a bit, that like I could never wake up before. Like, before lockdown, even my sleeping, like I wasn't sleeping. Oh my God. My sleeping was so bad that sometimes I'd come to set and I'm not joking, I would have slept like 2 hours. And like I would go home that night and I'd be knackered, but I'd still be up. Like, my sleeping was terrible. But I think it's also from like when you're flying so much, like your body's out of tune. Whereas in this time, I feel like we've kind of adjusted. But yeah, one of my things would also be having a more productive morning routine, because I think if you have like a kind of guideline of what you do each morning, it does shape your day. Maybe I wouldn't do a 35-step morning routine, but I want something more manageable for me. But I think another thing for me would be actually, and I'm not just saying this because it's LAPP, but you know, I've been saying to you for the longest, I want to start working out again. So that's why I want to say it on camera here.
The pressure is on.
Yeah, because next time I'm on camera, let me have a transformation. Because I used to train with Kira. I trained with Kira, like, I mean, this is embarrassing now because I've like fell off so bad when it comes to training. And I feel so embarrassed when people DM me like, oh my God, please, can you do your fitness routine? And I'm like, I'm so unfit. Like, it's not cute. Like, because also not just in terms of looks, but I'm saying in terms of how it would make me feel. Like, I felt so strong when I was training and I felt so proud of myself. And it's like so good to see your progression. So I want to start working out, but I'm also aware that obviously in this time, there's not much I can do, but I need to be doing some changes because like I have ordered a yoga mat, I've ordered ankle weights, I've ordered the like bands, and have I done any of it? No. So I'm like, I want to actually do that in this time, and just, even if it's like starts off like 2 days a week, like I need to do something. Yeah.
Join me for my IG live workouts.
I know, Leomie swears by it.
I really do. But guess what? Until then, you can just wear your LAPP and just look fab, because LAPP is for the fitness people, but it's also for just the fashion. That little runway in your house when you walk into the bathroom, you just want to look good in between your Zooms. LAPP is made for that. But you know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing that I just love about my brand, is that during this time, it's made me just feel so productive, even if I'm not doing anything. Have my little jumpsuit on and I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, Tesco's.
No,
hey.
It is cute. It is cute. It elevates your whole vibe, I feel like. When you have a cute fit on, it just makes, especially in this time, when you're at home all day, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking glam at home, you know? So when you throw a cute fit on, you really feel like, oh, this is something special.
Yeah, well, that's LAPP's entire vibe. Fashion, make you feel special, but also very functional. Just putting it out there. You watching, have you bought yours? No, I'm only kidding. Well, I'm not. I'm only kidding, but I'm not. Don't just be watching my content and taking all my advice and my tea and then not purchasing and supporting
support
the
your girl.
FLANNELS exclusive, because that's not good. That's not cute. Nah, honestly, I am so happy that you were able to come today and just spread some of this knowledge, because people just think that models are just like airheads, and I'm like, no, I may have bubbles in my hair, but my brain is filled with some stuff, and she's got some stuff to say too. So one last thing that I want to ask you, what advice would you give to a young girl who's from Coventry or wherever, and she's moving to London for the first time? What do you wish that you knew before you moved to London?
I wish I was a bit more stronger in my own morals and my own confidence, in the sense that when I first moved here, I think I completely just got swept away. Not saying I lost my morals in a sense of I changed as a person, but I mean in a sense of like, I just threw myself into work, which is good and bad, because it's bad because I look back and I missed out on so many moments with like just being young. And I think it's important to still have your life and have your friends and have your family and have the things that make you you, because I think fashion is such a bubble and it's easy to make that your whole entire world, whereas I think it's really important that you have your own community and your own support system outside of it, because you're not defined by your job, you know, like okay, we are models, but we're more than that. Like, we're human beings, we're women, we have so much to us.
Yeah, so much to give.
And it's true what you said too, like even all the women that have been a part of this, I feel so lucky that in this industry I've met women who have inspired me so much and taught me so much. I think with age comes that wisdom and that confidence to even say no to certain things, whereas when I first moved here, I felt like I had to say yes to everything and I didn't have good boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
I can't count how many, I mean, even my own birthday, I've missed out on a lot because you sacrifice a lot into your career, but I wouldn't change any of it because it's a blessing, but just certain moments I wish I could have, you know, maybe prioritize a bit of me time a bit more. That's what I would have said.
That's a good one.
Because it's important to like enjoy your life. I mean, it's important to work and make yourself happy, but what's the point of working so hard if you can't enjoy it? It's about experiences too and making memories and traveling and, you know, it's important to have that, I think.
Yeah, and looking cute while doing it, wearing your LAPP flannels.
Yeah.
Exclusive. No, I'm only joking. But honestly, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today.
Thank you for
looking
having
so
me.
cute too. And guys, that is everything for today. See ya. Bye.